Welcome to Useless Agent. This program is not meant for children of any age. Enjoy my nightmares.
That's that JC.
Okay, let's do this.
Enjoy it. Stop crying. I'm just a city guy, living fly, getting high. Living till I die, getting by, whipping by. Staying solidified, big time to different sides. Here's your ticket, ride, follow if you feel my vibe. I'm just a city guy, living fly, getting high. Living till I die, getting by, whipping by. Staying solidified, big time to different sides. Here's your ticket, ride, follow if you feel my vibe.
Good. Smile on your face. Nobody give a fuck about 40. Nobody remember 40. And y'all niggas just giving me way too many 40-degree days. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
And all right. Okay. So the more I look at it, the more I realize that, like, for some reason, y'all can't hear the goddamn hold music, all this shit that comes with these V cards. Y'all can't hear none of it. So if anybody's got any tips, anybody knows how to, am I in the wrong input? What the fuck? I watched some tutorials. The dudes can hear themselves, like you can hear their shit. And so I'm wondering why Streamlabs doesn't play it. Like, I constantly make these crazy noises and shit, and I don't think anybody hears it. And, it's just weird. I'm end up having to, like, make a separate fucking V card for the V card. Shit. I thought that was the whole damn point, was so that way I had a fucking, an actual thing, not just some dumbass air horn every 5 seconds. All right, so anyway, today's episode is based on, you think they'd have a drum roll or some shit, but today is based on Curb Your Communism. Now, this is based off of course, Curb Your Enthusiasm, but apparently Curb Your Enthusiasm has come back for its final season, and Larry David is not disappointing with his his style of comedy. It's not changing, and it's not going to. The very fact that you got Marjorie Taylor Greene apparently really butthurt over the recent jokes that Larry David makes in this new episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm. So Marjorie Taylor Greene throws a little shit fit. And then goes on crying about Larry David and what he said. And she actually said, you guys make us look like stupid rednecks. And again, remember, I have respect for rednecks. That all has to do with unions and shit. So, no. Y'all hillbillies, okay? You're just fucking hillbillies. Then she said, you make us seem stupid and racist. No, y'all do that on your own. So, it's just really funny that the party of the MAGA movement and this ultimate love for freedom of speech, but only when our guy gets to talk, So whenever anyone else expresses their First Amendment rights, Marjorie Taylor Greene and the right are the first ones to cry about it. And it's like, for a group that goes around calling everybody else snowflakes, you motherfuckers get hurt over every goddamn thing. Was it the fact that Larry David made fun of the whole water bottle thing? You can't give someone water while they're waiting in line to vote. Now, that was the entire basis of the joke, was that Larry David ends up being called like a hero because he gave somebody water. Now, this is both kind of true and not true. The fact is, you can give water, but the other fact is that Republicans did try to make that a law where you couldn't get fucking basic water while you wait in line. And it's just another way of suppressing the vote. And it's so fucking transparent. Even these little things they try to add to these resolutions, they call them, and they try to add these really ridiculous things to cancel out your vote, which one of them being in Georgia, they want you to write your birthday on the back of the envelope. Why? There's no fucking reason. They just want a way to say your vote didn't count because you forgot some stupid ass rule that never existed. Now, the very fact that you guys pushed for this and then it gets, thrown out, and now you're going to bitch about it when you're the ones that caused it. This is what they constantly do. Now, Tucker did the same thing. We're going to show this, so let's just start with that. So our first segue, I'm not even going to play the segue song because you guys probably can't hear it. So the first segue is going to be into Tucker Carlson realizing what a fucking shopping cart escalator looks like, which you could find at any Target that's more than one floor. Pretty much any store that's more than one floor has these. You put the card in and it magically carries it. Now, the amount of just embarrassing shock that this guy is under for some of the most basic shit you could find anywhere is goddamn hilarious. Now, I'm going to have to constantly be taking out their commentary for this because honestly, I am not going to give him my fucking ratings. I'm not going to give him my numbers. So I do not want to actually get anything from Tucker's actual website. So I just take out like little bits and pieces. So yeah, this is again him getting to go big people shopping for the first time and being amazed at the most ridiculous shit. And I'll tell you why.
So a long-standing feature, maybe the longest-standing feature of Cold War propaganda in the West was the Soviet grocery store. No products, no choices.
Okay, now let me pause it here because what's really funny is where's the Fox News logo? This is your shit that your company used to tell us. So this is what I'm talking about. It's the shit that they start and then they go against it 10 years later because they know that, their base is stupid enough to forget about all this shit. So most of the footage he's showing is Foxed footage. And you have to say Foxed footage because it's fake, literal fake news. So those propaganda videos were him. He was the one that was fucking putting them out there, 10 years ago on Fox. So it's just hilarious that he's like, I don't know what I believe, man. Don't fucking listen to me.
Shoddily made things. And it wasn't actually propaganda. It was real.
That's from
you can look up the pictures on the internet.
It would be really funny. We could take a look at the pictures on the internet. Like, yeah. And guess where we're going to find those? We're going to see the little Fox News logo on that shit. Oh, God, this is hilarious. So, okay. We already showed you him being amazed by shopping carts and the fact that if you go to any Aldi, you put in a quarter, you get your cart. Now, that really pissed me off because I shop at Aldi all the time. Who didn't? Especially back when they used to have those big-ass stacks of burgers and shit. Everybody used to buy those big-ass sleeves of burgers for cookouts. There were always those motherfuckers. I actually like them. I mean, they're not seasoned or anything, but shit. It's a burger. Just fucking take it. You get it at every block party you'll ever be at or in, whatever. So Tucker is going to flip out about this bullshit propaganda that he pushed, and now that he doesn't work for Big Daddy Logan Roy, now he can go on and other propaganda from the other side. What?
Modern day 2024 Russian grocery store, 2 years into sanctions. Here we go.
Okay, now before we actually here we go. He mentioned sanctions. Now these are the facts that America outsources a lot of shit, so most of our products they're not American made. Now Russia was different because they it's again, there's always innocence on both sides. Like he fails to acknowledge this, and then when he does realize it, it's always for the worst reasons, and it's you just want to choke the motherfucker because he's so goddamn stupid. The reason why he loves this place so much is because there's not a black person in sight, there's not a gay person in sight, and it's all based on theocracy and fucking racial segregation. So obviously he's gonna fit right in, even though everyone despises him. Because I've dated a lot of Russian girls. They're often very, very good people. Like they actually have reasoning and morals. So yeah, they won't like you, Tucker. They're nothing like you. So yeah, one thing that really pissed me off that I didn't even remember to mention is that not just at Aldi can you find these kind of shopping carts, the fucking airports. This dude has spent his life going to and fro in all sorts of different airports. You telling me you never needed one of those carts? You never had a fucking quarter in your pocket and grabbed it? You didn't even see the movie The Terminal with Tom Hanks? I mean, he literally tries to make a living because he's stuck living in a fucking terminal. So he has to get a job. So he starts putting away all the carts and taking the change so he can buy some Burger King. Oh my fucking God, watch a movie. I mean, that shows you that, Tom Hanks, who is 20 times more rich than this dumbass, knows way more about realistic life. While this fucking dick with ears continues to haunt our fucking brains with his garbage.
All right. There we go.
Oh!
So I guess you put in 10 rubles here and you get it back when you put the
If you can hear that laughing, that's actually from the Majority Report trying to actually take this seriously.
card back. So it's free, but there's an incentive.
Yeah, now we know what that little fucking joke he makes about it after that. But you could definitely tell that I like how they even mentioned that. Like he's so fucking amazed because he's out on his own for the first time in his life. This is a grown ass man that has no clue what life is like. So he has to go to Moscow to feel comfortable and be around white people. And then talks about how he's been radicalized against his leaders. When you put that shit on TV, what happened to the post 9/11 shit? When you go on and say shit like that, the CIA should immediately be bringing you in and having lots of questions for you. You don't just go on national TV. Well, in his case, the same way I'm on your TV. You don't do that and fucking tell them, hey, I hate America now, and hail Putin. That is propaganda 101. And how is the very business that he couldn't get into, the CIA, not interested in that? It's because, well, nobody is interested in Tucker whatsoever. That's why he can do all this shit, because no one cares. Nobody takes him seriously.
Grocery cart escalator. This
And
is designed.
can you blame us for not taking him seriously? Look at the fun he is having on a fucking conveyor belt.
I'm figuring this out now.
Bro,
where the wheels don't move, they lock on the grocery cart escalator.
What?
Look, Ma, no hands.
Okay, now again, this is the setup of like every mall in America, and you think he'd at least have been to a mall, but no, apparently not either. And let's not forget who he is. Tucker is a silver spoon, cake eating little bitch that was raised as a rich kid because his parents are the owners of like Swanson's or some shit, some really disgusting fucking TV dinner bullshit that they would never eat in their lifetimes, but have no problem investing in to shove down the fucking faces of poor people so they can get it for 10 for 10. Now, that's where this motherfucker comes from. So, a guy who literally gets his pants on thanks to poor people buying shitty products that his parents sell. He goes on to shit on the very people buying his parents' products and calling Moscow America and America a third world country, and he's radicalized against our own leaders. That is as anti-American as you can possibly get.
Awesome.
This is in like every mall.
Retail placement here is a little bit different. So it's like
it's really, man. It's like really different. No, it's not. And look at then again, he acts like he's never been at a bakery before. Like he's never been at a Jewel Osco or a Publix and just fucking buy a loaf of bread. Now remember, this is the same guy that worships a dictator who thinks you need ID to buy a loaf of bread. Why do you fucking people carry this shit on, knowing that you're as broke as we are, you're as fucking fucked as we are, and yet you support this shit? Like, do you just have a thing for embarrassment? Are you a self-masochist? There's no other way you can explain following these types of moronic propaganda.
There's one thing I can assess pretty well. The low-carb lifestyle has not swept Russia.
Because he's holding a loaf of bread. Hey, guess what they sell at every bakery in the world? Bread.
Thank Kevin, because look at that.
Oh my God, look at that. What? It looks like a giant dildo.
Fresh, too.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Unicorn and mini mills.
I mean, this is straight up a guy that's just having a blast because he's like, oh my God, is this what you dirty ass people do? And to me, it's just disgusting. It's fucking disgusting that anyone could embarrass themselves so badly that it actually affects hundreds of millions of people. You know, America, we don't even have 1 billion people in it. But goddamn, how do you piss off almost an entire nation just with one stupid little fucking camera and your ugly, fat, fucking bloated, overprivileged, fucking pasty ass face? Seriously, I fucking hate him so much. He's everything that's wrong with this fucking country. Like, everything that's wrong with it. Besides guys like, well, let's move on to the next one. That goes to our next segue, which we're going to be talking about. The next guy who has absolutely no fucking balls whatsoever. Let's go to Gomer, because, yeah, Gomer's not doing pretty well, man. He's really fucking up. Now, this whole idea about the Russia hoax and all this shit, and the fact that he could never answer a straight question. Do you guys have evidence? I sure hope we do. That's not how impeachments work, bro.
Manageable. It blew up in their faces. You see the special counsel, Republican appointee, leading the case against Hunter Biden, who was appointed by Donald Trump, now says that guy, this informant they hung their entire claim on about the bribe, he lied. Their infamous FBI informant is being federally, criminally charged for making it all up.
Okay, now, how does that shit happen? Because this fucking moron, Humpty Dumpty over here, James Comer, I mean, you can't get any dumber than that. This is a party that claims America first all the time, and yet every bit of their info or their supposed info or their inquiries for impeachments. Why is it always you guys have to reach out to these foreign nationals all the time? Where's your American fucking, interest whatsoever? All their shit always comes from some Chinese spy or a Russian spy. I think the last one was actually a spy for the the Chinese Communist Party. So, for a fucking group that calls everyone else commies, you sure do go to commies a lot for reassurance.
The DOJ, the FBI, for a document that asserts basically that Joe Biden, as vice president, was trying to essentially shake down a foreign national in exchange for key foreign policy decisions.
Now, remember, this is exactly what Trump actually tried to do and didn't get it. So, of course, their way of evening the playing field is by making shit up so that way there's an even playing field. No, it's not even. It's tilted, and you're running straight uphill the whole time. It's going to be really hard to cross that end zone when you're running uphill. All right? Usually doesn't work out too well. That's why you don't play football on a hill.
My question, how sure are you that that document is legit? How sure are you that it's the real deal?
90%, 99%.
Well, very sure that that is a legitimate document.
Very sure, like 100% certain?
Well, you're pretty close to 100%.
He was pretty sure.
Oh, wow. Pretty close to 100%. Like, this is what I'm talking about. When people give you these types of answers, they're full of shit. It's pretty goddamn obvious. But the fascination with this bloated orange guy is just it's scary, and of course it's reminiscent of the Nazi Party. Now, Trump has constantly, gloated about his cognitive abilities, which we have seen on display, and always claims that stuttering Joe Biden, who does have a stutter and is not the best talker in the world. Seriously, so many times I'm like, dude, just get off the fucking podium. You're so good behind the desk. Just stay behind the desk. Like he needs a Luther, That's why Obama was perfect for him, because he had a younger guy, So it's like, just start doing something. God damn it. Come on. Kamala Harris, do something. Like dance, some shit. Just get us to distract or some shit. So, of course, it's all reminiscent of Nazi Germany and all this shit. And so he also talks about these cognitive tests, right? We know a cognitive test, these are concussion tests. These are not real fucking tests. These are something you give after you have a head injury. And the fact that he keeps saying that he aces it, he does this, he does that, all this bullshit. Now, when he keeps asking about is, these tests that he wants to take because he's so goddamn smart, Michael Cohen makes a very interesting point when he says, yeah, we have that. There's, if you don't want to take just a regular IQ test, because some people find the IQ test to be somewhat biased. I believe that there was even a study done that showed that there was even a racial bias in the questioning, and that certain demographics were not going to do as well as others because of the information that is being used as their template for the IQ test. So whether you can think it's biased, non-biased, whatever, okay, fine. I mean, I remember I did it, and I was pretty goddamn proud, when you get over 140, you're pretty fucking ecstatic. And so this is off of Ravens Progressive Maltreases test the Welshler Adult Intelligence Scale. Now, this test I just took. It's about 60 questions, and it took about, I want to say, about 25 minutes. And yeah, it's all based on your ability for reasoning, critical thinking, and since Donald loves cartoons and the right loves cartoons and neocons love cartoons, I mean, think about it. Look at how 9/11, Oklahoma, everything is explained through cartoons. I mean, they literally made a 9/11 fucking comic book so kids can understand the lies of 9/11. So these people really love cartoons. So if you guys like cartoons so much, there's plenty of image related testing. You know, all of this cognitive testing has to do with just common sense, reasoning. If this is like this, then what is this? And they will give you a fake language and say, if XYZ means, ABC, well, then what does, this sentence mean? So you just basically are using common sense. So they make up a language and they give you a fake language, kind of like speaking Vulcan, or Klingon. So as they, give you these words, it's non-biased because it's a non-language. It's literally gibberish. That way, there is no bias. If you spoke Spanish and they used a Spanish thing, then you can use your Spanish intellect or knowledge. So that would create a bias. So they make up a language, and they do this in a few of those questions. And I had the most fun with those questions. So it is a completely non-biased test that will really just show you the basics of it. So definitely look up WAIS test and, take it yourself and come back and let me know how you did and what you thought of the test. Because in my opinion, it's perfect to give especially for low set bar presidents. All right. If you cannot get at least a 78 on this test, you are out. I don't care if all of you get it. If all of you don't get it, then none of you get to be president. Okay. That's really how we got to do it. I don't give a fuck what your highest score is. If you can't get at least 78 on this test, then get the fuck on out, because it was not hard if you have common sense and reasoning skills. A lot of them have to do with shapes, recreation of shapes. There's nothing like, who invented the crab apple or some dumb shit like that, I don't know why I said crab apple. It was just the first word that popped in my head. I'm sorry. I'm not so good with the ad and the living. All right. So let's go on to one of the funniest stories that I've always heard about Trump was, or not about Trump, but actually like what he actually did. I'm sorry. I'm losing my train of thought trying to fucking catch Lindsey Graham over here. But yeah, there we go. There's that fucking idiot. So there was a comparison made with Ben Carson, and this was on, I think it was on Fox News, and someone like Chris Wallace asks, whoever the pundit was, asks Ben Carson, are you referring to Donald Trump as if he was King David? And for the first time, you see Ben Carson's eyes. He freaks the fuck out because he can't believe what he just actually said. And so we're going to definitely bring in King David for the end of this, and that'll be a pretty good segment. Because in my opinion, that's going to be like the OG authoritarian moron.
Dear Republican senators of America, Ronald Reagan, who helped millions of us to win back our freedom and independence must be turning in his grave today. Shame on you. To the Prime Minister of Poland, I could care less what you think.
We seriously pay for this? This is where our tax money goes? Like, what? So you can go scream at Donald Tusk on Twitter? You couldn't have just replied to him and kept us out of it? Like, you had to make somebody go get a big ass Kinko's card and make this fucking giant stupid sign. These guys love these dumbass signs, and the left now has to keep up with the right doing them. And Katie Porter, she's like, fuck you, I got my marker board, dude. I just use my marker board. But you know what she uses that marker board for? Numbers, real reasons, not so we can look at a tweet and dissect it, especially from foreign prime ministers that even Poland is saying, y'all fucking stupid. All right. And come on, man. Oh God. What was it? They made that damn screen door. God. Oh, whatever. There's too many Polish jokes to even start. It's just hilarious that that's where we are being called now. Like, we went from making all these Polish jokes to Poland literally calling us fools more. It's pretty fucking crazy. So let's go on and bring up the story of King David, because I really was interested in that little segment of basically the idea that, King David and Trump having so much in common. Well, it's not very far off from the truth. There are a lot of similarities. So we are going to watch one of my favorite channels called Dark Matter 2525. And if you're a fan of actual fucking scrutiny of the Bible and an actual thorough look at the Bible, and then you just break it down to modern day terms, that's what you have with the show. And it's like Family Guy based on the Bible. I don't want to say Family Guy. Let's say like South Park, but with the Bible, a good show, like a smart show. I mean, I like Family Guy, but it's not a smart show. So, all right, let's start it off.
Yo, who be it that righteous broad jiggling about with the ripe melons and whatnot?
Her name is Bathsheba, sire. She is the wife of Uriah the Hittite.
Hey, yo, she's taking a bath, and her name has bath in it.
Come on, you're telling me you don't hear Trump right there? I love that they even made him Sylvester Stallone, Rambo, and shit. This is awesome.
Anywho, bring me that bath broad so that I may have sexual intercourse with her and whatnot.
But
now the whole point of this is again the story of King David. This is actually, I love how they even fucking reference each Bible verse and where to find it, what chapter and what verse. So this is just done with the perfect amount of satire.
sire, she's married.
Yo, did I stutter?
Yeah.
Oh, well, just do it anyway.
You see that? David, my chosen, wants to boink a married broad.
Yep, not good. Maybe you should go down and have a chat with him to avoid any unpleasantness.
You're asking me, God Almighty, to think of a problem ahead of time and develop a plan that will take that problem into consideration.
Now, if you're not familiar with this show, like I said, they just take Bible, actual scenes from the Bible and make it more realistic or just more modern. And the premise of this was the idea of punishing the parent for the sins of the child or punishing the child for the sins of the parent. And, like, God does not make any sense in the Bible. And that's why they start off with the conversation about this and how in Deuteronomy and Ezekiel, they say one thing, but then they say a totally different thing. It's constantly contradicting itself.
So that the best possible result will come to fruition?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, don't like it.
Sounds familiar.
Sire, dost thou remember that one time we engaged in clandestine fornication?
I did what now? Yo, that goat had it coming.
Yeah!
That time we secretly screwed.
Oh, yeah. How couldst I forget? Thy melons are so ripe.
Well, thou knocked me up.
Oh, damn. Okay. How about this? You'll sleep with thy husband so that he thinks the brat is his. And hopefully he does not request the holy ritual with the magic abortion potion if he suspects that the brat ain't his. And whatever thou do, don't confess this to Priest Maury.
But
I love the don't confess this to Priest Maury. But let's try to keep in keep in perspective that, according to the Bible, every person is born with, like, according to the church and the clergy, God has this plan for everyone, right? So again, this would completely contradict that very plan and put in unnecessary needless suffering to children.
Sire, mine husband is in the field, fighting for thee.
Bringest him unto me. Yo, Uriah, how thou doing, brother? Thou good? How's the fighting going?
I am very well, sire, though the journey hath been long, and mine feet are a bit sore, so I gave them a bit of a rub before I...
Yo, go boink thy wife.
Excuse me?
Thou done good. Take some time off,
Go
chill, relax, chillax, and go boink thy wife.
I thought I was the only one that said chillax or chillaxily. Oh, he's all tuckered out. Great sound effects.
Sire, Uriah has not gone home to boink his wife. He hath stayed with the men.
Yo, didst thee not have a long journey? Why didst thou not go home and boink thy wife?
Sire, the Ark and Israel and Judah are all in tents. All the men are still in tents in the open field. Surely it would be unfair for me to chill at my crib and boink mine wife.
Thou know what? Thou art a good man. Stay and drink with me one more night, and then I'll send thee back to the fighting where thou wanna be. Cool?
There is a lot of, if you are familiar with your Bible, there is a lot of get him drunk and then have him have sex. That is a constant theme within the Bible. Look at the story of Abram all the way down. Let's just watch it.
Yo, wouldn't boinking thy wife be great right now?
Uh-huh.
Boink thy wife. Yo, boink thy wife. Yo, take this letter and give it to Commander Joab, and whatever I'll do, don't look at it.
Yes, sire, it will be done.
What does the letter say?
Well, it says to put Uriah on the front line where the fighting is fiercest, and then to abandon him there so that he will be killed by the enemy.
Wow, what a shitty thing to do to someone who has been so loyal and disciplined.
Yep.
So, you going to do anything about it?
Nah.
Nope.
Just let him die?
Yep.
Because you don't want to interfere with free will?
Jeffrey, I've been interfering with free will all throughout the Old Testament, let's face it.
So it's the God uses evil to do good excuse?
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that one.
So a good outcome is definitely going to come of this, right?
Sure.
Sire, some of the men died in battle, including Uriah the Hittite.
Yo, so let me get this straight. Uriah is definitely dead.
Yes, sire. Uriah is dead.
Yo, time to marry Uriah's wife.
Shouldn't we allow her the customary time of mourning, sire?
Yeah, sure, but when thou put a bun in the oven, thou gotta set a timer. Y'all know what I mean?
Not exactly.
The baby's
no.
coming, so he's gonna go
Math
get
and
it.
stuff.
Yes, I'm sure they can, sire.
Damn it.
Dost thou, David, take this woman to be thy lawfully wedded?
Yo, I do.
Oh, there you go.
Yo, he's legit. We're married. Yo, I'm just a strong kisser is all. Don't do math or nothing.
God, don't do it. God, calm down.
David, I gave you everything. I made you king and delivered your master's house to you. I even gave you your master's wives.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! But I thought marriage was supposed to be between one man and one woman.
Jeffrey, just because it's in the Bible, that doesn't mean I approve of it.
No. You just said that you, God himself, gave him Saul's wives, plural.
Shut up, Jeffrey. Anywho, since you have done evil, killed a man and took his wife, I am going to take your wives and let them sleep with someone close to you.
Cuck. So, as you can see, that it's pretty much legit. I mean, it is the actual story, but again, they just throw in some extra shit, make them about Rambo, and when you see it from that kind of perspective, you no longer see it as a bunch of little text inside your Bible. You really, I love the chunk because you get a face for it, you know, and when you really get that face for it, you realize that God in the Bible's version is a jealous, whiny, overcompensating, authoritarian dictator wannabe that is too stupid to actually be any good at dictating. Does any of that sound like somebody you know? And the story of King David is just naturally a perfect analogy. And so let's just try to think back on that face that Ben Carson makes when referring to King David and how he flipped out. It starts to make more sense. So since I'm not really, I forgot to put that video up. Instead, let's watch somebody else cry like a little girl. Go ahead, little dick. I'm sorry, baby dick.
Every single witness testified. We have nothing to do with this. They went in, witness after witness. This is not what they did in the company. It didn't matter to this guy. You know, we were trophies on a wall for this guy. You know,
that was Eric Trump right there saying.
And then he goes on to actually try to say that his dad built the entire fucking New York skyline. All right. Not just a tower, to the entire skyline. So forget the Italian immigrants, forget all of us that worked our asses off to go build that stupid shit, from the Italian laborers, the Irish laborers, Japanese laborers, fucking black laborers, Yeah, let's forget about all that indentured servitude, all that fucking forced labor that was done by immigrants for very cheap money to build you a fucking foundation that would become the biggest city in the fucking world. Right. Let's thank you. Not the hundreds of years of progress, the fucking intense fucking amount of American work ethic and the love for fucking architecture and design. Nope. It's Trump, baby. That's it. Please learn to just fucking curb your communistic bullshit, please. So that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you do actually take that test and let me know how you did or what you thought of it. Check out, everything I talk about. I always would love to hear you guys, your feedback. And so we'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, that'll be about it. All right. Love you guys. So see you tomorrow. Stay safe, stay free, stay yourselves. Most of all, stay cheesy, my friends. And later days. Later days. Well, I couldn't say that.
A federal judge has ordered the release of the identities of dozens of people.
Welcome to Useless Agent. This program is not meant for children of any age. Enjoy my nightmares.
And stay cheesy.
Okay, let's do this.
Enjoy it. Stop crying. I'm just a city guy, living fly, getting high. Living till I die, getting by, whipping by. Staying solidified, big time to be precise. Here's your ticket, ride, follow if you feel my vibe. I'm just a city guy, living fly, getting high. Living till I die, getting by, whipping by. Staying solidified, big time to be precise. Here's your ticket, ride, follow if you feel my vibe.
50. Smile on your face. Nobody give a fuck about 40. Nobody remember 40. And y'all niggas is giving me way too many 40-degree days.